Are home warranties a scam? Let's find out. This is Real Estate Unfiltered. Welcome back, everyone. Memo here.
Welcome, Chris, as usual. Today we have another special guest, Nikki. Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Nikki with Old Republic Home Warranty.
Perfect. Well, I guess we can just jump right into it. Are they a scam?
No, absolutely not.
No, they're the best thing ever.
They are the best thing ever. No, when used properly, they're absolutely not a scam.
I think that's something that we wanted to bring up because we see that quite a bit. Like we had mentioned earlier, I mean, we get a lot of people asking, they either call us direct or somebody on Facebook's looking for a home warranty. And then you always get those people that are against it. No, don't get them. They're a complete scam. They're never going to do anything for you. So do you want to just kind of elaborate and go off on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So home warranty is an insurance policy. So kind of insurance policies in general get a bad rap. People think, everyone's trying to get out of covering things. Nothing's covered, that type of thing. But we cover claims all day long. I'm dealing with service. And it's usually the reason people are thinking they're a scam is because they're not explained properly. The agent might say, hey, if anything in your home breaks, call your home warranty. So then they're calling us because their window cracked or their fence blew over and, things that aren't covered by home warranty. Or even the fact, I get it all the time. I actually just had it last week. The agent said, oh, we're not going to do any request for repairs. Just wait till it closes and then call your home warranty to get something fixed. And that's not what the home warranty is for.
Right.
So then you get somebody pissed off and they think it's a scam because what they were told isn't happening.
So it sounds like the biggest misconception is just the agent or what they're getting told isn't correct information.
Or people just not reading the brochure and everything that explains everything.
Yeah, and we do. And with home warranty, they do get a welcome packet from us after the policy starts. And they can make changes. They can see what's covered, ask questions, all that type of stuff. But people don't do that until the policy is already in effect and they need something. So then they've missed out like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I can add my pool or something that, didn't get added. And that's what they're calling for. So
what kind of time frame can they add stuff? If they just got a basic home warranty, because obviously you can probably go in more detail. There's different like steps of it. But if if their agent got them a cheap, horrible home warranty, like a lot of them do, how long do they have to upgrade?
So when it's going through escrow, they have 60 days from the time escrow closes to make any changes. After that, they can't change anything until it comes up for renewal. So like maybe they have a brand new washer, dryer, fridge. So they don't care about that being covered the first 12 or 13 months. But then the manufacturer's warranty is gone. And now they do want to add those. So they can add those at time of renewal. But on the initial plan, it's 60 days.
It might be good for people to know because obviously we're talking about real estate. So we always do it for our clients. So it's an escrow and you're getting a home warranty.
Right.
Somebody that currently doesn't have one now, can they still call you and get one?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we can put a warranty on a property at any time. It doesn't have to be going through escrow. It does work a little different. So it'll be a 30-day wait from the time it's paid for before it starts. And that's just to kind of eliminate any fraud things like, oh, hey, like it's the middle of summer. My AC just went out. Let me call and put a home warranty. Or my water heater just exploded all over the garage. Now's a perfect time for a home warranty. So that's why there's that 30-day wait there. But we can do agent referral plans so they can get the prices through escrow. We can put them under, whatever agent refers them. So if it's somebody on Facebook that one of you are tagging me on, we would just put it under you. But coverage, pricing, all that would be the same. It's just a 30-day wait from the time it starts.
Well, that's good to know.
So what are some like common misconceptions, or not common misconceptions, but common things that aren't covered that some buyers might assume or owners assume that are covered or that you see?
Yeah, so the biggest one is secondary damage to a claim. So usually dealing with like water, a water heater explodes, there's a pipe leak in the wall, things like that. Will they get upset or they think that we should be covering any restoration or any damage from the water, and that's homeowners insurance. So that's probably the biggest thing is secondary damage type things. Or the other thing too is rodent damage. So we get a ton of claims having to do with rats living in pool heaters or chewing through the insulation in the attic, that type of thing. That's not considered normal wear and tear. So those are probably the two biggest things.
That's like a maintenance issue that they're supposed to be taking care of like already. So it's technically it's not broke. They just didn't take care of it going into it.
Yeah, or the rat chewing through it. That's not normal wear and tear.
Yeah, it didn't happen naturally.
It didn't. Right. What didn't happen just because it's old and it broke, or a part went out and it broke. It's because that rat ate through that wire or that dog peed all over that AC condenser.
See that all the time.
All the time. That's a big one too. So I'd say those are the two biggest things. The not failing due to normal wear and tear, and the secondary damage. Those are two things that people just think should be covered. They're like, if you cover my water heater, why aren't you covering the damage that it caused?
Yep.
And that's just not.
And I've had to explain that to clients too, because it's basically like, okay, the home warranty fixes what the problem was, and insurance is going to cover the damage that comes from that.
Right.
Because it's vice versa too. If the water heater blows up, insurance isn't going to fix the water heater; they're going to fix the damage.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's probably the biggest thing too, is when you're talking to somebody, especially not going through escrow, and you're like, hey, do you have a home warranty? And they're like, oh yeah, I have AAA, or I have State Farm, or I have whatever. And I'm like, no, that's homeowners insurance. They're not going to help you. Yeah, they're not going to care if your AC breaks or your water heater goes out or your fridge stops working. Just like home warranty is not going to help you if your house burns down or it floods or those type of things. So that's probably the other biggest misconception is homeowners insurance and home warranty, the difference and what we cover.
Definitely not one and the same.
No.
Yep.
So with those being misconceptions on things you don't cover, what would be some of the reasons why you deny something? Like you go like the AC's out or something is technically broke, but you denied coverage for that item.
That's kind of ties into what some of the things that I had already answered as far as not normal wear and tear. That's the biggest one. And vandalism. People will call us out because parts are completely missing, like people steal pool equipment or copper wiring or that type of thing. So if parts are missing, I had one crazy one where it was the boyfriend got really mad and actually threw something and shattered the whole front of the oven. And so things like that, like that's actual like physical damage to something. So those are, and the other thing, the biggest thing is pre-existing condition. That's the number one denial in home warranty is pre-existing condition. And that's because, again, it was on the home inspection and didn't get taken care of. That's probably the number one denial.
So regarding the home inspection, if you're ordering this, do you ever ask for the home inspection? Do you have to prove that it was working when they bought the house?
So when the client calls for service, so we don't require a home inspection. However, I highly suggest it because I actually just dealt with that on my way over here today. It was a dishwasher claim. It closed on April 8th. On April 9th, they called us for the dishwasher. We sent a technician out and they're like, oh, well, it completely seized up and there's no way for us to prove that it was working or when it failed.
Yeah.
The agent had a home inspection from like about 3 weeks ago. She sent it over to me this morning and it showed on there that it was working. So we moved forward with the claim. Nice. So that's the only time we're going to ask to see the home inspection if it's a situation like that where it can help the claim.
Yeah.
Other than that, we don't say, hey, send us the home inspection.
You're
before
not doing stuff to try to deny it.
No, we're not getting the home inspection to try to use that as a way to get out of covering claims. We're getting it to help.
Yeah, and I've seen that before too, because there's been situations, and you see it a lot more with like vacant properties.
Yeah.
Like you do the inspection the first week, the seller moves out, and then we don't close for 3 weeks in the middle of summer or something, and then you go in there, older house, whatever, then a pipe burst or something like that. It's like, oh, well, yeah, the house has been vacant. It's just those weird things, and they always seem to happen right when escrow closes.
Well, like you do the home inspection, and we're in California, it hasn't rained in months, and then you go to close, and we had a big storm, and all of a sudden you have water leaks everywhere.
Yeah.
So kind of touch on that. I mean, obviously, each tier is different. Is water leaks and roof, is that covered in all of them, or what would you recommend to?
So roof coverage is limited in home warranty. That could fall under homeowners insurance as well, depending on your homeowners insurance policy. With home warranty, it is an extra add-on, and it is limited to either somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500 for a roof leak repair, depending on which plan they have. So there is limited coverage if added to the policy. But let's put it this way: people don't buy the home warranty for the roof coverage. Like that's not; they're buying it for the HVAC, for the plumbing, that type of thing, because that is one area of home warranty that is extremely limited. Is the roof.
Yep. And that's even towards, because I've had this problem before I really was versed in home warranty stuff, that it doesn't cover leaks in the garage.
You're getting pretty versed in it. Like,
I am.
I hear.
Oh,
You hear that, right?
Surprise! It does now.
It does it?
Yes.
Hey, there we go. See? Wow, my home warranty rep doesn't tell me things.
So it covers with the home warranty, it covers the leaks above the garage now. It used to only be over occupied living area, but now we cover it over occupied living area or garages. It doesn't cover like carports, patios, that type of thing, but the garage and home, the leaks over that are covered.
Yeah. So everything under the one roof.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I remember, like you said, it used to not be, so I didn't know that.
Not be.
Good to know.
What's the
Things
deal with,
do
with
always change.
All the change with the Freon and gas and all that good stuff. So what if your AC is super old, it's broken, and then you have to change it. Do you change the whole system? How'd that look like?
Oh, I know about this.
I know you do.
So, just like everything, it's the AC laws are constantly changing.
Everything's changing.
Everything's changing.
Especially here in California. They want to make it difficult on everybody.
We have some fun laws compared to some other places. But yeah, so currently what the air conditionings have to be are A2L systems. That came out a little over January of last year, so about a year and a half ago. So if you have an old R22 system or a 410A system or anything other than A2L, you used to be able to make, when part of the system went out, there was ways to make the inside and outside compatible. Well, you can no longer do that with the A2L. So now with the home warranty, if your condenser goes out, we have to replace the inside unit as well. So the condenser and compressor, even if only one failed with the new A2L, they don't work together. So we do have to cover both parts in order to make them work. So, and if anybody doesn't have a home warranty and they've priced out what an AC cost, I mean, 8, 10, 12, 15 grand, I mean, it's really expensive. So it's definitely, you might have some out of pocket still because it's not going to cover everything, as Memo knows.
Yep.
But it's going to still cover a large chunk, as if you didn't have anything, you'd be out the whole thing.
Yeah.
Some's better than none for
Yeah,
sure.
and especially with those older units. Perfect example, me, I'm going through it right now with home warranty is my units were 24 years old.
Yeah.
And they only replaced the parts that broke, so the AC condenser,
Right.
but it was attached to an older furnace. So, and we'll kind of segue into the next question, that you're able to get a cash out instead of having the contractors come do it, which is what I did because I wanted to replace my whole system.
Yeah.
So kind of explain that with cash out scenarios. Do we have to use your contractors? Can we use our own contractors?
Your own contractors and things like that.
So when you're setting up a claim, you call either our 800 number or go online to set up a claim. You'll get a work order. It'll be assigned to a technician in our network. We do highly suggest that you use one of our contractors, at least initially, because if you use what's called authorized outside contractor, there's a really good chance you're going to have higher out of pocket. Now, sometimes that happens. I had an emergency slab leak claim over the weekend where they're like, we don't care. We just want to use our person. And I'm like, okay, but when you send the bill, it's only going to be reimbursed at our cost up to whatever that is. And a lot of times that's a lot less than retail. They're like, we don't care. We want to get it taken care of. So if they choose to use authorized outside contractor, they still have to call us first, set up the work order, go through the proper channels, but then it would be reimbursement at our cost on a covered claim. Now, in your situation, you called us first. We sent a tech out. We said, okay, this is what we're covering. This would be your not covered cost. At that point, you can take a cash out for what we're covering and use anybody you want.
At that point, it makes sense for you because yours is older guests. They're fixing the problem, but it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on it. You might as well just get a whole new system at that point.
And that was my whole thing is because, especially because they weren't going to replace the furnace and I wanted more upgraded units because I have a bigger house, things like that. So I'm like, it made more sense.
They would fix the actual problem at hand now, but you would probably be calling her back in a month or two because something else is going to go out because the system is just getting outdated.
Exactly. So I just wanted to do it kind of right the first time. But there's been countless other times where I have had my AC fixed over the years. Refrigerator stuff, like your normal stuff, and that's just easy. Okay, use their contractors.
Right.
But it's those specialized situations where you want something more, and it's easier just to kind of do the cash out. Because
especially with technology like these days, everything gets more technical. Like I had the washer go out, and just to fix the brains in these things nowadays is $800. You call and you get it switched out, and it's much cheaper.
Yeah, I just had that exact same thing. It was actually an agent's own home, and she's like, "But my washer machine's only 4 years old. Why are you replacing it?"
I'm like, because the part,
because that's just the thing. The new ones are so fancy, and they have all these fun buttons and all these things that are really cool, like Memo's fridge and things like that. But what happens when there's new, fancier, more buttons to push, more things break. And so we do, and another time people take the cash out is like on a fridge or a washer, because if we're going to have to order it and it might take a week and they can go to Lowe's and maybe they want to buy a different one anyways, it's like, okay, we'll just take the cash out, send us the 1,000, 15, $2,000, whatever it is to be, and we're going to go pick out the one we want.
Yep. Yeah, it's nice that you give those options or that there's those options because it'd probably piss more people off too. It's like, nope, you have to use my guy if you want it fixed or anything.
Yeah.
At least there's those options. And like you mentioned, it's at your guys' cost. And obviously as an insurance company, you have your people and negotiated those types of things. So it's obviously not going to be a apples for apple, dollar for dollar comparison, but at least it's something if you want to do something different.
Yeah.
And kind of switching gears, like not talking about like what you guys cover and stuff for the buyer, maybe kind of explain how does this help the actual seller? I mean, because always someone say, yes, this is something that we want to give, but maybe go over that, how that protects them.
Yeah. So back to fun California, we're in a very sue happy state,
Yep.
as I like to call it. And the majority of home warranty claims come within the first 3 to 5 days of escrow closing.
Wow.
And that's not necessarily because the seller didn't disclose something or was trying to hide something. It's just because it was working one day and it was broken the next day. But if you're a buyer and you move in and within the first week, something stops working, who do you think they're going to be pissed off
Always
at?
the seller's fault that they
seller's
didn't
fault.
disclose or they were hiding something.
Yeah. Or they're going to call you as the agent and say, you didn't do a good enough job. Why'd you tell me that, home inspector? All those different things. So if there's that home warranty in place, it gives that level of protection of somebody for them to call, other than going back to the seller and saying, hey, you didn't disclose something, or going back to you as the agent and saying, you need to get me a new dishwasher because this should have been, fixed prior, something along those lines. So it's really just that like buffer right there for when those things happen, where that way they aren't getting pissed off at the seller. There's no small claims being threatened, all that type of stuff. So it's really just a risk management tool for the seller. Yeah.
And another thing too, I'm looking at it from the real estate perspective. For us, it's a good negotiating tactic for like requests for repairs, because when we start negotiation for HVAC, for example, let's use my house again. I had 24-year-old units.
That comes up a lot. It's because on the inspection report, it's going to say like reaching end of age
life
or something.
And it'll say the most famous words on there are end of life expectancy.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and I always say, I mean, if it looks ugly, but it's working,
Right.
it's working. That's our job.
That's not a request for repair. It's working, but it's getting old. That ain't my problem.
Yeah.
So I always kind of throw that back at the buyer's agents, or even my clients if I'm representing the buyer. It's like, hey, it's ugly, it's working, it's cooling properly. It's not cooling to like the best stuff that you could buy now.
Right.
But you have that in place, and that's what we got for you. Or as a seller, that's what we're giving to the buyer.
Yeah.
So it's a good negotiating tactic at that point to be able to say that.
Yeah, it is. And also on that same note, something I've been seeing a lot more recently too, especially with HVACs, because they are putting at the end of like life expectancy and things like that, are the typical home warranty is 12 or 13 months, but we do have a 2-year policy. So people will use that to negotiate things, just because it gives that extra year peace of mind versus the buyer trying to say, hey, Mr. Seller, you need to give me a new AC. And they're like, screw you, I'm not giving you a new AC. It works fine. It's just old. So it's giving that extra, but they're like, hey, we'll up your home warranty to 2 years. So that way you have 2 years of coverage. Now, if something goes wrong after 2 years, like, sorry, Charlie, like, welcome to homeownership.
Exactly.
So I know we were talking about like there's multiple tiers in home warranty. Like give us an example. What would the best one cost without adding pool and any extra add-ons? What would be
Like what the differences are.
What would the differences be on that?
Yeah. So we have everything from a bottom bone bare plan, no AC, anything, which runs you in the 400s, all the way up to our highest plan, which is called the Platinum. That's going to run you right under $1,000 for that one. And again, that's not adding like pool, septic, well, any other things that you might have, but that's going to be your most complete plan for HVAC, plumbing, appliances, those type of things. So it's really, there's all different
And that is so weird.
coverages.
Every offer I write, I always ask for the most expensive one. I don't think I've ever had a counter and say, no, we're going to give you a lower one. But most of the offers I receive on my listings, they always ask for a low one. It's like, why wouldn't you ask for the very best for your client?
Yeah, like the
It's like,
500,
why not?
700.
I see the 500 all the time, and I'm like, when was the last time a plan? But the best is they'll put 500, but then they'll put like this many things on that line of things they want to add.
That doesn't add up to that.
And I'm like, when was the last time a home warranty with pool and roof and AC and washer, dryer, fridge, and has all the things cost $500?
I know it seems like prices do go up quite a bit for home warranty. I'm assuming that's just because cost of living and to live here, everything else is getting more expensive just to fix.
It was all COVID's fault because everyone was living at home, so everything
broke, but then didn't have all the appliances to get fixed. So now
supply and demand. Yeah, COVID definitely had an impact. There was a shortage of so many different things, and in California too, we have all these special things and codes and different things we have to follow. So home warranty typically goes up once a year. In my experience, I've been doing this 20 years. That's on average what I see. Sometimes you can squeak out once every 2 years.
I think she's pushing it. I think it's more like twice a year.
But it's typically once a year. At the end of every year, you'll see a price increase.
So you're our rep. So where do you cover?
Yeah, so I have Riverside County.
Okay.
So from Temecula down to Riverside, Hemet, Idlewild, Anza, pretty much anywhere in Riverside County. But I can, because I'm your guys' rep and I work with you guys, anybody that you refer, I can do in any state that we're in. And Old
So that's what I was
Republic's,
saying, because most people, obviously Riverside County, they would contact you direct.
yeah,
And so then even outside the county, we would still want them to just contact us or you, and you would
yeah.
just refer them to where they go.
Yeah, like I
Okay.
just did one in Texas the other day. I do them in Arizona all the time. So any state that Old Republic operates in, I can assist them with. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Another thing that I was kind of just thinking about, circling back to the beginning of the conversation. So when you're saying pre-existing conditions and things like that, what if it's just like a lack of maintenance where it wasn't broken, but it's like, hey, it's not cooling properly, and the HVAC guy comes and like, oh, well, your air filter's dirty or something like that. Is that something that would be considered prior existing, or is it something that would be covered?
It's not something that would be covered, not just because it's pre-existing, but because home warranty doesn't cover routine maintenance. So if there's nothing wrong with the unit, it's just like, hey, your coils are 90% clogged. You need to have your unit clean. That's why the air is not blowing out.
Gotcha.
That's going to be a routine maintenance item. So it's kind of like when you get like a car warranty, like it's not going to cover your oil changes and rotating your tires, like that type of thing. Same thing with the warranty. It doesn't cover to clean and maintain things. It just covers if there's an actual mechanical breakdown.
So what I'm hearing is before you call them out, change your air filter. So I've been doing the maintenance and it's just not working.
Yeah, but it's not just the air filter. You gotta people don't realize you're supposed to maintain your air conditioning and clean it once a year.
Yep.
And it's not just like clean. They're like, yeah, I change
Yeah,
my filters
when it
every 3
rains,
months.
right?
Yeah, when it
When
rains, it cleans
dusts
itself.
off.
Yeah, that cleans it out. But you're supposed to actually like take it apart because those coils inside.
Get all gunked up.
Yeah,
and dirty.
and especially if you have like pets, the pet hair blows around and stuff. And yeah, so if it's just a maintenance thing where it's just like, hey, nothing's broken, it's just dirty and needs to be cleaned. And that happens on water heaters too. People are like, hey, I'm not getting that much hot water.
Yeah,
It's
all the
only
calcium buildup and
the
all that.
sediment and stuff
Oh,
build
sediment,
up.
yeah.
And you're supposed to drain your water heater once a year. A lot of people are like, what do you mean? I've been here 5 years. How do I even drain my water heater? I'm like, oh, you take the hose and this is how you
hose.
do
Dump
it.
it outside.
And
And
even
they're
for
like,
tankless
wait.
water heaters, you're supposed to do that as well, I think.
Tankless water heaters, you're supposed to descale them and have those serviced once a year. We do have a new option for water heaters that we added about a year or two ago now. It's called water heater tune-up. So if the client has that on their plan, they can pay their $100 deductible, which that's probably a good thing. We didn't mention that there's a deductible.
No, yeah.
But it is $100. So they can pay their $100 deductible. And if they have that water heater tune-up, we can come out and drain their water heater for them, or if it's a tankless, descale it and do all that routine maintenance stuff. So some things have options, but typically if it's just a maintenance item, it's not warranty
Do I have that
related.
on mine? Because I don't think I've done that in a few years.
You do not have that on yours. It's only $25. You should probably look at adding it.
I probably should. Okay, so and go back to what you just mentioned too, that we didn't talk about the
Deductible.
deductible.
Yeah. So that's $100. Anytime they set up service, it doesn't matter if it's for the AC or the refrigerator or anything like that. One thing that I really love about Old Republic is if you have multiple plumbing things or appliance things or multiple of the same trade and you call it in at the same time, you just pay one deductible. A lot of companies out there, you have to pay per item. So it doesn't matter if you call in 3 plumbing things at the same time. You're going to get 3 separate work orders and you're going to have to pay 3 separate deductibles. With Old Republic, you can put that all on one work order if you're
Nice.
calling it at the same time and just pay one deductible.
So, but that's just trade, right? So if you have a plumbing issue
Yes.
and an AC issue at the same time,
That's
Correct.
it's 2.
It's 2. Yeah. Yeah. So that is
So
definitely.
kind of wrapping up, would you kind of last questions you might not have one off the top of your head? Like what's one big like horror story, crazy house was falling apart that you guys were able to come in and help the client out and fix it?
Our biggest 2 claims are HVAC and water heater. I mean, I don't know that it's really a horror story, but my most recent one was I had property recently closed in Hemet. It was a grandma actually that was taking care of the grandson who had like severe disability. They moved in and had everything turned on, and the gas company came out and completely freaked them out, put a red tag on the unit and said that the furnace was leaking gas everywhere.
Wow.
So of course she's an elderly lady. She freaked out. She's like, I have my severely disabled grandson living with me. This isn't safe. She was blowing up the agent. The agent was blowing me up. It was like everyone was freaking out. And I'm like, okay, calm down. Like, let's get somebody out there. So we were able to get a technician out there, and it was a cracked heat exchanger, which is inside the unit. So it's not something, even though it didn't work like right after escrow closed.
Mhm.
Home warranty covers unknown pre-existing or undetectable pre-existing conditions. So even if you have a home inspection,
It wouldn't have been on
it
there.
wouldn't have been on there because the home inspector doesn't take a furnace apart. You know, they turn it on
They turn
to
it on
see.
and make sure it's hot.
It's like, oh, cool, it's coming out at 100 and whatever degrees or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. Does it appear to be working? And so cracked heat exchanger is a big one that can be undetectable. And so it's something that the home warranty would cover. And so we were able to fix this furnace, and the grandma was literally like in tears on Monday. Like she was so happy. So stories like that, like I really am like people helping people. Like I always want, you know, nothing's ever going to go perfect in any type of insurance claim or world. But when I can make the situation right, like that's really like,
especially when they're freaking out. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't know what to do when you're
Yeah.
able to come in
It's
and
emotional.
fix
It's a big thing, and everything. When anyone talking about anything appliance or structurally with a house, everyone freaks out,
Yeah.
type of thing, right? So
especially when they're like gas is leaking everywhere and it's unsafe and,
Yeah.
you know, like that type of, and sometimes people freak out more than they need to, let's be real, but there's legitimate concerns with that type of stuff. And so, in whether it's like something you or I would freak out about, if they're freaking out about it, the ability to be able to help and just diffuse the situation is like my favorite part of the job.
So it sounds like we debunked that myth that
Yeah.
it is good to have it. There's definitely multiple reasons to have one.
Yeah.
It's not super expensive. It's low deductible.
yeah, I mean, moral of the story is yes, they work. Agents need to know how to communicate to their buyers or sellers
We
of
talk
what it
about
actually
communication
does.
a lot on this show. Good
Communicate.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, again, I'm in the industry. I know you personally. You've helped out with so many things, but I've used it for my own house, my rental properties, and things like that. It does work.
Yeah.
And there has been times or for things that, hey, it doesn't cover X, Y, Z, but in the long run, for the $1,000 you're spending as a homeowner or for a new property, it's going to come back, and it's peace of mind, right? That's what insurance is. You never hope to use insurance, but if you need to, it's there.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, you heard it there, folks. Nikki with Old Republic Home Warranty. We'll put all the info in the description, and like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. See you on the
Do
next
all
one.
the things. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye, guys.